Calwas. Got it.
I used to have notes for this show.
Oh. Do you even know yet?
No.
Oh, boy.
Anthony, can you hear us both all right?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Okay,
Can you
great.
hear me, Anthony?
Yes, I can.
Anthony.
Anthony, do you see the people are coming in?
All right.
Just so you know, there are guests here.
Okay, are we gonna turn the camera on so that I'll be able to see? Is that gonna happen?
Oh, I don't. Is that better?
Okay, well, this
All right,
looks
hold
like
on.
you're sharing some photos. Is that on purpose?
Which
Please fill in towards the
photos
front,
are you
please.
seeing?
If you're with the group.
Well,
let me
right
know
now
how
it looks
many you
like
got.
your background, which is just a
What do you
gray
got?
laptop with a
Okay,
closed
okay,
eye on the
good,
top of it.
good.
What about now?
Cool. Keep
Looks like
filling
a
in,
photo
keep
of
filling in, please.
Dragonite Con. Is that right?
Is the photo of Dragonite Con moving?
I just assumed it's a slideshow.
But I mean,
one out.
like, are there? Is it constantly moving at like, I don't know, 30 to 60 frames per second?
Well, 60 is probably a stretch. I would say probably 30 frames. That would
Okay.
make sense.
Okay. You might be seeing live video.
Right here, front here. We got space up here, folks.
Okay.
got
Was that a
two.
question from the
Okay,
audience?
next.
Okay.
It was into the
Here.
microphone, so I'm not sure. Anthony, we might have a
Going in here,
question in the
please.
audience.
Already.
Yeah, the question I heard was there is room up front.
It's a good question.
That's a great
Okay, we got-
question.
Great
I don't know.
question.
We got 4 seats up front here. Two-twos.
I'm sorry, the question was we have 4 seats up front.
How many you got with you?
That feels like a
Two,
statement
over here.
more than a question. that we're
The
gonna be able to
next
answer.
question was how many do you have with you?
One.
That is a question. We can answer one.
here.
Great question. Great
Yeah,
question.
just
Right here.
One.
Just one.
Yeah, one here also.
One. You can go right there.
So 3 ones.
Two right up here.
Oh,
I got
sorry.
room for one here.
Room for one, Anthony,
Two.
right here up front.
I'm one. That's perfect.
How many you got?
Yeah.
3.
So-
1, 2, 3 right
I'm Crump.
here.
Yes, you are, Professor.
Good.
2, 3. How many you got with you? 2. Go right here.
We already have a
please.
question in the chat. The chat is active on twitch.tv
One. Right
/DC
up here.
Digital Media, where the DC stands for
We
Dragonite
got-
Con.
1, 2. Right here.
I knew it.
Or wait. Let's.
The question in chat is offensive,
Guys,
and I
fill in
refuse
towards
to
the side
answer.
as much as you can, please. I think we got a full house.
Wow.
Or no, we don't.
Hardee's.
Never mind. Okay, here you go.
Hard
You right
parties.
there.
Um,
Yes, that's everyone. Okay, you can take the next
No.
seats.
uh,
Guys in the back, I'm going to need you to take seats, please.
The world.
Let's keep that. Let's keep the back door open so we get some airflow.
leading.
If you're here for PokeDexpert, go ahead and fill in, please.
So see all the. Wait, we're live right now, but I haven't finished my name tag.
We'll finish it.
Wow, the unprofessionalism at Dragonite Con.
What time is it?
It's only
What-
gotten worse.
What time is
truly.
it?
It's only gotten worse.
Check your watch.
My watch says that it's 8:28.
Your watch is wrong.
That's 2 minutes. We have 2 minutes.
2 minutes to
But
live.
also, your watch is wrong.
Is it? What? What?
Your watch is wrong.
Maybe it's just it's set for vacation still.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This is so
you speed up
unprofessional
your
of
time
me.
on vacation?
Yeah. To make sure that I'm not late for the activities. You know.
Give yourself more panic as you go on vacation.
Well,
Yeah.
I
If
just want to make
if
sure
there's
that
one thing I wanted a vacation, it's more stress. I feel like that's what I'm looking for in a vacation.
It's a stress vacation.
Yes.
Stresscation.
Stresscation.
The truth is, most of my life, I just kind of sit around. So, if I'm on vacation, I'm looking for something different.
That's why I come to Dragonite Con for the stresscation.
I ran out of room on the one side. I'm sure that's okay, right? That won't be a problem. Oh, good. That does say for Pokemon on it, right? Oh no. Pokemon.
Did you spell it right? Did you spell it right?
Yeah. I know it's been a year, but I think I've got this. I think I'm.
Hey, Mike, can you move the laptop so it's just you and me for a second?
Yeah. What's up, Anthony?
All right, I know there's people in there, but I just want this to be.
Yeah, just you and me. They can't hear.
Okay. Look, it's been a little while.
It's been honestly, I haven't seen you since last DragonCon.
And it was like this, right? I mean, like we haven't really talked one-on-one in almost 5 years, I think. So
honestly, it's been a long time since I've seen you physically.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if that's ever happened. I think maybe once in passing in a grocery store. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
what's up?
I just want you to know that I'm grateful to DragonCon for asking us to be there, even though we haven't done any thing this year. And I just want you to know that you'll be easy with yourself. It's going to be okay, buddy.
I went on vacation before this thinking that I would unwind. You know what I mean?
But you took a stresscation.
Yeah, but now I'm wound up.
You misbooked.
Yeah. So I appreciate you taking this time with me, Anthony. Also, the sponsors are Blueberry. Have you heard of that?
No,
apparently you can host.
What is this?
Apparently you can host podcasts on it.
You have to host a podcast?
Yeah, so we don't just. It turns out you don't just record it and then it is out there. You have to put it online, and Blueberry lets you do that.
That explains a lot about this last year, honestly, because we've recorded a lot of things, and I thought if we just put them in the folder,
it would go. Wait,
hold on,
internet.
Anthony.
Oh no,
Anthony.
Professor Crumb.
It's Professor Crumb. So have you guys been doing content? No, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Have you been doing content and just putting it in a folder?
Yeah, it's important to.
Is that why there has been no new
episode
episodes for 2
so
years?
We recorded many times, and then we put it in the folder to go to the internet. It says to internet, and
is it routed correctly?
So,
and has it worked in the past?
I'm sorry, what, Professor Crumb?
Did that work in the past?
Well, in the past, we had someone at the studio who would, pick it up. I would put it in the folder.
Yeah, we would burn it on a CD,
okay,
and then hand it to them.
Yeah,
and then they would take the CD to the internet.
Okay.
To the internet, right? So I figured we were modernizing. We were cutting out the studio. We could also cut out the CD and just put it in a folder.
Yeah, it was our choice to leave the studio.
Why bring third party in?
Right? Yeah. They were taking our cut of the pie.
Yeah. I'm going to turn you back so you can talk to Ellison.
Okay. So I just wanted to say, you are a highly decorated scientist. You have been studying Pokemon your entire adult life, and maybe some of your adolescence, maybe a little pre-adolescence. Who knows?
Sure.
You've got this. This is DragonCon, and
thanks, man.
They asked you to be here, right? So
I didn't beg at all.
You didn't have to beg anyone.
No.
That's all I'm saying.
You're right. It was just a strongly worded email, which is super normal and totally.
That's not begging.
Things. Yeah, nope. You can use the word begging without doing begging, right?
That's right. Yeah. As long as you give the impression of begging, but don't actually beg.
That's right.
It's called Patreon.
Yeah.
It's not what you know; it's who you beg.
That's right.
And I think that we've set ourselves up well for this. So I'm comfortable now. I feel good. I feel better.
Anthony, just real quick before we go.
Yeah.
You are a podcaster.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
That was the high level affirmation I needed.
Yeah. You have podcasted and may future podcast. Use Blueberry if we aren't getting internet access.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, put it on
Yeah.
the notes.
Yeah, I'll put it in the notes. I'm not sure.
And Anthony,
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
figure it
yeah.
out.
We'll figure it out. You know what?
real quick, hold on.
Oh. I was gonna turn it. Okay.
Anthony, just don't
I'm
go to
so
Kroger's
sorry.
and get some blueberries. It's something completely different.
What do you?
We'll
what do you
talk
mean?
about
We'll
it.
do that.
Yeah.
All right, Anthony.
Um,
Okay.
Anthony,
Sorry.
the other thing that you have to mention is that this year's they're doing charity at Dragonite Con. Turns out they do it every year. We didn't mention it last time. We got in a lot of trouble.
Yes.
This time
Yeah, I
we
remember
have
that.
to mention that Open Hand Atlanta is the charity. Okay, so when we go live, don't forget that part.
Okay.
Also remember that Open Hand is all the donations. Punch this up for the audience. Like this is just you
Okay.
and me, right? But
I
like
assume so.
all of the money that's donated to the charity from this, DragonCon will match up to $100,000. Dragonite Con
Okay.
that's so much money,
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
and so we don't want to mess that up because I feel like that's really important to the convention.
Okay.
Okay.
I will translate everything that I just heard. I will say, you're coming through a little fuzzy, but I'll do my best. Is everyone ready?
Oh God, they're also ready.
Okay. I mean, I wasn't asking them. I'm sorry, everyone. I wasn't asking you if you're ready. That was my fault. I should
Professor
have been
Crumb?
more clear. Professor Crumb, are you ready?
I am ready, Anthony. Yes.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready, Anthony. I'm ready.
Let's go.
Now I should ask, is the audience ready? Are you ready? I mean, this is very important. So I need you to be ready, because this is not just us. This is your opportunity.
You're right.
Dragonite Con has brought us in here. I'll start. I'll start.
Yeah.
Welcome to Ask the PokeDexpert live at Dragonite Con 2022. I've paused for applause. I can't tell if it's happening, but I'm assuming that it's happening.
Raucous applause.
Great.
Standing ovations.
Dragonite Con is brought to you by Oranberry. You can head over to Oranberry today, and they will help you make a podcast. I'm not sure which part of it they do. I assume the good stuff. I assume they do the good stuff. And if you have hands, you should donate to some charities. The charity is it's for people with hands to donate to, and Dragonite Con will match 100 million yen, Poke Yen, for every dollar that you give. So you do that if you have hands. If you don't have hands, there may be other charities, but this one's not for you. So thank you to everyone with hands. And now I want to introduce, he is a biologist, a socialist, a social biologist, a sociologist. He may be a socialist, I haven't asked.
We are in a non-political space, Anthony. It is important that we don't do that.
Yeah, I didn't ask. I don't want to know. It's not important to this discussion, because what is important is your credentials as an author, as a scientist, and as a good friend to this program, as my co-host. Mike Ellison, it is such a pleasure to be on this panel with you again.
Thank you. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here. It really means a lot to me, Dragonite Con. This is my #1 favorite Dragonite convention.
Yes. I mean, absolutely.
Can I introduce you? I know we didn't.
If you,
I know it's not in the
no.
show notes.
Yeah, we're rusty. That's fine. Yeah, go ahead. That's
Okay.
fine.
So I would like to introduce a co-host, Anthony Reed.
Thank you. I've been doing this sort of broadcasting for a long time, and I feel like we've really gotten the hang of the best way to present ourselves to the world in a way that really gets across what we are as a brand. And so, thank you so much for this opportunity.
A brand and a
to really
team.
show our skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, introduce the professor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. Of course. We have a special guest with us today. Of course, an illustrious professor. He is also very skilled at the science of Pokemon. Some would say that his last several books, which have come out over the last few years, especially over the course of the pandemic, he was very prolific. He's written probably about 15 books to Mike's one over the course of his career, and it's such a pleasure to have him with us. It's Gossamer Crum. Thank you, Professor Crum.
Those are very nice words that you said, Anthony. I'm glad that we could work out our lawsuit behind closed doors. It is.
Yes.
I appreciate that is over. Which one of my books is your favorite?
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and settle for the first book that you put out there. That one was my favorite. I sure loved that one.
The one about. Okay, we will get you a signed copy right away.
Oh, great! Thanks so much. Really appreciate that.
Wait, was that Mankey's in the Wild?
No, that was my third book.
Okay, that's my favorite.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. Yeah. No. The first one was Squirtin' to the Oldies. It's a Squirtle workout book on different kind of moves that you can do.
A little intense for me.
Well,
Yeah.
it was very hot and in the wrong circles. I did not do a well job at naming it, but it was already out there, and I can unfortunately.
It's too late.
It's too late.
Yeah, you can't.
I got a lot
I couldn't put it down.
I'm sorry.
I was reading it. I couldn't put it down. I really enjoyed a lot of the stuff. And you know who actually was a huge fan of it? My mom. My mom loved it. Just a huge fan.
I'll get her a signed copy as well, and I'll hand deliver that one.
All right, great. I can't. Wow, that's very special.
Hey,
If you've
how's your-
never joined us,
how's your father-in-law?
we don't need to talk about that.
Okay.
If you've never joined us for Ask the PokeDexpert before, this is an opportunity for us to answer your questions. I mean, we all know that everyone here, clearly, Pokemon owners, enthusiasts, scientists of their own right. This is an educational podcast and endeavor to make sure that everyone has the information they need to do the best job they can do, raising and protecting and living alongside Pokemon. And tonight we have a very special Pokemon we're going to be talking about. The Pokemon we'll be speaking about, I made handouts for everyone. So if we could just pass these around, that would be valuable. You know what? If you give me your address, I will mail you one. That's the handouts. They're going to be good. But our special Pokemon is Gengar. We're going to be talking about Gengar today. So if you have burning Gengar questions, we have, of course, as the scientists that we are, we have answers for you. And Mike, just to give the audience an opportunity, we want to give you the maximum amount of time
Of course.
to come and ask us questions. But before we do that, I do have a question that was submitted ahead of time for Gengar, and I would really love to pitch this question out there and see, what you and Professor Crum think, and of course my junior skills as a Pokemon scientist. I will try to share my insights as well.
I'm so excited to talk about Gengar with such a beautiful crowd that is so ready to discuss this beautiful, incredible Pokemon. Gengar is my favorite Pokemon. I'm so ready. Anthony, what's the first question?
Okay, yes, I have a question here. It says, how do you deal with Gengar's proclivity for mean practical jokes? As someone who is very eco-conscious, I am interested in Gengar's ability to absorb heat and have harnessed a flock of them to act as a sort of natural air conditioning system for my house. However, they seem to delight in constantly terrifying my family, even going so far as to curse my wife and children. Every day brings a new horror. Please help.
Great question.
That was a great
It's a
question.
great question.
Great question.
Great
Yes,
question.
very important. Great question.
Okay, so if I understand the question correctly, these Gengar cohabitate with a human family, right?
Yes, that's from my understanding of the question. Yes, many Gengar, one family of four.
Right. Okay, and the family is hopeful that their relationship with the Gengar will lead to the cooling of the house because of the haunting nature of Gengar chilling the area that they are found in.
I think it's 5 degrees lower.
Right.
Yeah. And I think, whether or not they have a relationship with the Gengar, that is just a natural physical response
Of
from
course.
the Gengar.
Of course.
Right. So,
And so the question is how the question was phrased in such a way that it's difficult to parse what the asker is really looking for, because the question was, how do I
can
get
help you with that. I can help with that. I think what they're trying to find out is how to curtail the mean jokes and curses that are being laid upon their family, from the Gengar, who they otherwise, I assume,
enjoy.
love and respect.
Yeah. And that, I think, is where the misunderstanding is coming from, right? Because as responsible Pokemon owners, we all know that it's not about curtailing Gengar's behaviors.
No.
It's about training yourself to accept and appreciate the Gengar's behaviors, right? Curses,
I mean,
practical jokes.
would you yell at a dog for barking?
Of course not.
It's
right.
It's their nature.
Right.
Yeah.
It's there in the same way that I would never. Audience, this is for you. I would never mention to Professor Crumb that I've never seen him wear anything else. That is, that's
What?
just his nature. And so I would never call that out to him in the same way that I would never call out a Gengar for casting a curse on my children.
I would never yell at my mom for getting remarried. That's just her nature.
Right.
So
it's
it
her
is what it
nature,
is.
Anthony, to accept a new husband into her life.
Yeah, I mean, every 3 months or so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've come to terms with it. I mean, I really have. I've reached a place now where I think, on the 8th marriage, I was a little concerned. And then,
Change takes
we've just
time.
sort of, yeah.
It takes
we've
time
reached
to
a
adapt.
place.
And so I
Yeah.
understand. And so honestly, that would be my best recommendation to a Gengar owner is that, the nature of curses is so temporary. When you look at kind of your lifespan and really on a larger scale, the lifespan of the human race, one curse.
Such a big smile.
Yeah.
You
honestly.
take the things that you need.
Yeah. It's about making lemonade.
Yeah.
And so just embrace the change that comes with being cursed.
Now, Mike, I
When-
will ask, is there some risk from having multiple Gengar in such an enclosed space? I mean, are you going to ratchet up the level of curse coming from a Gengar when you have, so many in one area?
Anthony, that's a great question. But I do want to toss it back to Professor Crumb, who had something important to say before you interrupted him.
Oh, I'm sorry, Professor Crumb.
Oh no, I'm used to it. I'm used to it. And now I forgot.
A great
Oh, well,
point. That's a great point.
I had it.
Yeah.
You interrupted me, and then I forgot.
Well, we don't like to leave any question unanswered. So it's now time for the audience to come in and bring us your questions about Gengar. Just come right up on to the mic, and we will try to answer everything that you have about the Gengar. Do bear in mind that this is pretty specifically about the Gengar today, but you have unparalleled scientific minds to access here. So do not be shy. Step right on up to that mic and ask your questions, and we will do our best to answer them with all of the authority that we carry. So go right ahead.
You do know that I have more than one set of clothes.
I do now.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I also have more than one set of clothes.
Good for you. Stop bragging.
Oh, hello.
Hi. So how many Gengar would it take to destroy the entire region of Kanto?
Just hypothetically,
What do you have planned?
first off, great question.
Great question.
Great
But what do you
question.
have planned?
Great question.
Destroying the entire region of Kanto?
Okay. Anthony, did you hear the question?
No, but it was so good.
So the question was, how many Gengar would it take to destroy the entire region of Kanto?
Oh,
You already said it's a great question, and so you should answer.
yeah. Great question. Well, I would say that probably if we could, I imagine that a Gengar probably would be good for, about 3 living people. So, I mean, if we can get enough Gengar up, maybe 1/3 of the population of the region, we have to assume that there's about 10 million people in the region. So I'm going to say, 3.33 repeating million Gengar.
So I posit, Anthony, and maybe I'm off base here. I think we could get by with half that number because enough destabilization, and I'm sure the people would do the rest for it.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, if you're really trying to undermine, you could probably target key individuals and demographics.
Yeah, so theoretically, because this is all theory, folks, no one would. You could target the leaders, a handful of Gengar strategically placed in interesting.
Simultaneously.
Of course,
Yeah,
coordinated,
yes.
coordinated attacks.
No,
right?
not
Yeah.
attacks.
The coordinated. What else?
Flash mob.
Great suggestion.
Thank you.
Great
Next-
question.
Next question.
What's Gengar's favorite food?
Great question. The question was, what is Gengar's favorite food? And
Oh, great question.
I love this question. The reason I love this question is because the answer is as varied as Gengar is. In the same way that my favorite food is French fries. Professor Crumb, what is your favorite food?
Boiled chicken.
And Anthony?
Well, I tend to be partial to, there's some yogurt in the fridge right now.
Great. Okay. And so, in the same way that everyone has a different favorite food, your Gengar may have a different favorite food than another person's Gengar. And so, my recommendation to you, Miss, would be put out options. You could put out a meal, maybe 10, 12 courses, and see which the Gengar prefers. And then next time it's feeding time for the Gengar, another 10 to 12. And eventually, once you've made every food, you'll know.
Mike, I have a confession.
Yes, Anthony.
It's not yogurt.
It's
milk
too
crate.
late. We've got another question right now.
Okay. All right.
Can, and if yes, how can I eat my Gengar?
Wow.
Great question.
Okay.
It's all right. He knows not what he do.
You're right. You know what? We're going to come from a place of education.
Yeah.
We are not going to come from a place of aggression.
Turn it. Breathe.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
Okay.
It was an eating Pokemon thing, wasn't it?
Anthony, the question was a great question, and the question was how, if it's possible, and how to eat a Gengar, Anthony. That was the question.
Oh no.
And so it was a great question. And I do think it's very important for our first timers in the crowd to understand as knowledge has progressed around Pokemon, we understand that Pokemon are unique individual species, and the consumption of a Pokemon in a civilized society is not it's not something that we do anymore. And there are
It's all right.
There are places where people do still consume Gengar and other Pokemon, and different cultures do different things, but it's generally accepted in Pokemon treaty regions that we won't consume Pokemon.
Boiled.
I do think it's important,
Boiled.
though, right, Mike?
Boiled is the best way to prepare Gengar. It's boiled.
And I
Honestly,
would say
boiled.
that obviously because there are people experimenting with this in the world, it is important to note that there are some, you may hear of new gastronomical techniques to prepare Gengar, foams, and, some airs where they just
Yeah,
like breathe
I
in
have
the Gengar.
aerosolized boiled Gengar tends to sell very well in cultures where that is acceptable. In the
Yeah.
food scene, it is very
For the
popular.
creme fraiche, and it's great.
Right. I will again. Boiled does kind of take care of some of that, like
Gaminess.
and
Yeah.
some of the, the haunted like
Yeah.
aura. Yeah. So that is true. That is the safest way to prepare a Gengar.
But we don't condone it.
Next question.
Next question.
Oh,
Hello, my name is Aiden Braden Creighton, and I'm in the 6th grade at Saffron City Middle School. Go Totodiles.
go Totodiles.
I'm here with my dad, and he says that Gengar is dumb, and that only a dummy would evolve a Haunter. And he says you're a huge nerd, and then he called you the PokeDexpert. So my question is, are you just gonna sit there and take that?
Great question.
It's a great question, Aiden. Thank you so much. So, Anthony, that was a question from Aiden from Saffron City Elementary School.
Go
Totodiles.
Yeah, go
Go Totodiles. And first off, can we get a Go Totodiles for Aiden?
Totodiles.
Yeah.
There we go.
Second off, Aiden's dad, I will meet you outside.
Don't think that we haven't thrown fists before.
Listen, these hands might type a lot of papers, but you don't want to catch them, Aiden's dad.
He's gonna catch them all with my fists.
Oh, that was
Sorry.
intimidating. Awesome.
If Aiden's dad tries to fight me, I'm just gonna fold.
That tracks.
Yeah.
Anthony, there was a question in the audience about your cheap suit.
What about it?
All I heard was cheap suit.
Well, that doesn't sound like a question, Mike. Next question.
Okay, next question then.
What happens when Gengar fall in love?
Oh, great question. The question was, Anthony, did you hear it?
I didn't, but it was a great question.
Great question. What happens when Gengar fall in love? And honestly, this seems to match up most with your research.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, I've done some research into some of the reproductive habits of largely worm-like Pokemon. That's typically where my area of research lies. Now, Gengar, not a worm-like Pokemon.
No, arms and legs.
Yes.
Yes, arms and legs that, if you think about it, are kind of worm-like.
The individual appendages?
Yes, yeah, they are shaped roughly like worms in a vague sense. And so I think I'm qualified to speak to this. The thing that I love most about Gengars from the research that I've done is that they bond once. They find a soulmate, and it is they connect for life through that, and then slowly poison them. Just because they're both poison
Right, of
type,
course.
and
Yeah.
they don't.
Leech life, we know.
It doesn't quite mesh up. They don't quite connect it, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Mutually assured destruction?
Yes. Yeah.
There's been a lot of violent questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something in the air.
Yeah.
Is there... Audience, have you seen a Gengar around?
Yes.
I am feeling a bit of a chill touch in the room.
Really?
Just a reminder, they look like this.
If you have seen a Gengar, you have to tell us.
Legally.
Legally, you have to
must
tell us. And so, next question.
Hi.
Hi.
I, like most trainers, show my Pokemon their my love and affection for them through soft, head pets and
Sure.
hugs. But my Gengar, being a ghost type, is of course mostly intangible. So how do I combat this so I can show my Gengar just how much I love it?
It's a great question.
That is a great question.
Did you hear that one?
I only heard the word intangible, but I assume it was a great question.
So the question was, my Gengar, how do I show my Gengar love? The question asker's love language is physical touch. We learned that in the question. And we learned that the Gengar does not respond to that love language. And so the question was, how do I form a bond with my Gengar on a level that they will appreciate?
Great question.
Right? A really good question. Professor Crumb, do you have any insight?
Gengars terrify me. I don't go anywhere near them. They are
Okay.
shadow people,
Uh,
slowly lurching in corners.
So okay, then I will answer. Wow, I will answer this question then because I think it was a great question asker. The question behind the question of how do I show affection to a partner with a different love language from my own, I think is something that is base to all of us, right? We've all been there, and so I would recommend asking your Gengar how it prefers to be shown affection. And maybe, much like the favorite food question, you could show affection in a multitude of different ways. All of them, gift giving, words of affirmation, the other one, acts of service.
Live, laugh, love.
Yeah. If living, obviously off the table to live.
Okay.
You could try emotionally loving or laughing, not at, but with your Gengar. Great question. Next
I have
question.
a different answer for this.
Oh, geez.
Put it in the freezer. It may start to solidify some. I feel like that might work. I've never tried it, but
I mean, the science is sound. Like that's
give it a shot.
Yeah. If everything doesn't, if everything else doesn't work out, you could try the freezer method. It's a little controversial, but what are we if not intrepid explorers of science? So
That's right. Podcasters.
Next question.
First off, the freezer thing may work as Gengar are gaseous Pokemon, so they will condense and then eventually solidify.
We have another scientist in the room. Everyone, we love science here.
So, I recently got a new job. And
Congratulations. What do you do now?
That's gonna.
Okay, you know what?
So, it involves Gengar. I work with him a lot. I work as an IT professional at a local college.
Oh.
I work at the help desk. Now, the student assistants I supervise, they love using Gengar because it stops people from asking really stupid questions.
Sure.
Unfortunately, this has caused the Gengar to become incredibly depressed. And
Sure.
I'm not entirely certain how we're going to get them to continue functioning. I mean, it frees up time so we can go on a bunch of different tickets.
Of
so we
course.
can work on things. And but they don't like having to work with people that consider looking for a box overly technical.
Great question.
Yeah.
So, Anthony, the question was, you're a little close to the camera.
What?
That's better.
Zip it.
Great. Good work. The question, Anthony, was how do we IT professionals better treat our Gengar employees?
Great question.
Oh, now you're a little far from the microphone.
Okay. I'm gonna just try to. Okay. Great question. Great question. Yeah. I mean, treating one of the things I think is probably difficult as an IT professional with Gengar is that they are, I imagine they interact with radio signals and electricity in strange ways. Probably a great difficulty with them. I know there are other ghost Pokemon that's a real problem for.
Of course.
I think probably the best way is just to find sectors that you can, give them free reign. Right, Mike? I mean, I feel like everybody wants their own space every once in a while that is their space and not their mom and stepdad's space.
I imagine that would be true.
Yep.
Anthony, hold on 1 second, folks. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Anthony.
Yeah.
You don't live back at home, right?
It's hard. It's been hard, Mike. We haven't. I thought shows would start making money, but it turns out they have to go to the internet and people have to be able to hear them. And look, I only have so many options, so.
I'm Anthony.
Oh, Professor Crumb heard that. Here, let me get.
Sure. He's real close to you. I understand. Oh, my camera fell. Hold on. Hi, Professor Crumb.
Anthony.
Yeah.
I'm sure that my lawsuit didn't help the situation either.
It did. No, it certainly did not. I mean, there was a lot of money in the settlement, and that was not great.
Your actions have consequences, so just remember that.
Okay, so the question was, how do I, as a Gengar employer, make sure that my employees are happy and pursuing a future at their place of employment? And I think that's such a great question because part of Pokemon management, right? We've all been there. How do I get my Pokemon to tell me what their career goals are in a way that matches their current job? Right. And sometimes that can be so difficult to see as a people manager or a Pokemon manager. It can be really difficult to connect with people that have that situation.
Yeah.
What, Anthony, are you wearing shorts?
What? I don't. It's not working. Something's not right with the camera.
Okay. Sorry, I got just a little off track. And so it's just really important to make sure that maybe their future isn't in IT.
Maybe like 6 months.
Yeah.
Check-ins and,
Yeah, I would recommend regular check-ins, one-on-ones with your Gengar employees. And if you help them build a resume to find a job that they do want, you're still helping them out. And maybe they will more appreciatively work on the tasks that you give them.
Maybe like a casual Friday, dress down Fridays.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Not having to manifest a place to put a name tag would definitely take a lot of stress off of Gengar's physical state. I hope that was
let them
helpful.
wear jeans
Or shorts.
Or short.
Well, look, they're just so comfy and easy
Next
to wear.
question.
Okay.
First of all, I'd like to speak out in defense of the PokeDexpert Anthony. I like shorts. They are comfy and easy to wear.
I heard that.
Wow.
My question was related to your earlier statement about Pokemon being unique and individual. If that's truly the case, why do Clefairy or Clefable and Gengar look almost like color swaps of each other?
That's a great question, and I'm glad somebody's brought it up. Everyone in the room was thinking it. Everyone has been in that place where they're like, and I get it, because a lot of times when you haven't studied the biology of a Pokemon and you only see its physical attributes, you might say, but actually they're very different on the inside. I don't recommend discovering that on your own. I would recommend signing up for certain, community college classes where they go through the dissection of Pokemon with you. It can be very tricky when you open one of them up and you find things that you're not expecting the first time.
I'm colorblind.
It should
They're
also
there's
be
just
noted
three
that
different Gengars.
Yeah, no, they're different colors and different Pokemon.
Your words are not making sense. I don't
Okay.
see it.
We'll connect offline.
just to build on Mike's very, very good point. Great point, Mike.
Thank you.
Just wonderful work. I want to just seriously, folks, look me in the eyes here and let me tell you, amateur dissection is just never a good idea. Okay,
No.
there's a lot of trouble you can get in for that, and I mean it. It's just not. It's not worth the hassle, the legal troubles, the protesting groups outside your mom's house. It's not worth it.
And it's dangerous. You never know what might be inside that Pokemon you're about to cut open.
That's true. Could be another Pokemon.
Could be. Anthony, should we bring up the Magmar incident now or no?
Bring up the. I'm sorry. Bring up the what?
The Magmar incident?
I don't know. We don't. We never. The pending litigation. We should probably hold off on the Magmar.
Let me
incident.
know when the insurance pays out, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah. That's
Great.
probably for the best.
Next question.
All right, so I guess this is more of a trainer's question, but we all know Gengar likes to sneak around and hide in the shadows and stuff. But one thing
Sure.
that's always kind of puzzled me and never got a good
Terrifying.
answer: how come he can't learn Shadow Sneak?
It's a great question. That's a great question, and I think Anthony, did you hear the question?
I didn't, but it was so good. What
Okay.
a great question.
If your Gengar has decided not to learn something that you're trying to teach it, it might be worth looking inward as a trainer and saying, why is it so important to me that my Pokemon learns something that they don't want to? And I think you're going to discover something about yourself in that answer that can really unlock a lot of things for you. If you're having trouble with those questions, I highly recommend a good Poketherapist. Professor Crumb.
Well, no, you're right. You can't force things down his throat. It's just bad etiquette.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you can lead a Ponyta to water, but you can't make it drink.
It's true.
And
if you do,
it could die.
It could die.
Right.
And we've spoken before, Mike, that the Pokemon learn things at their own rate, and if it's like, a Gengar is going to learn what a Gengar learns when a Gengar is ready, and it's not something that every Gengar knows, like Shadow Sneak, right? Like that would be weird, but otherwise, you give it the time it needs.
That's a great point, Anthony. Great point. I'm really proud of you.
Everyone needs the time they need, Mike,
Yeah.
Eventually, we all do what we're supposed to do if we're supposed to do it when we're supposed to do it eventually or something.
Even just hearing you say stepdad is such a big deal. Mom's boyfriend was getting weird.
Yeah. He was.
Next question.
So I keep having family members and friends refuse to come over to my house anymore, claiming that they're constantly being cursed and bad omens keep falling upon them. Is it possible that the freezer that I have filled with a couple dozen Gengar is causing it?
No. Next question. Great question. Next question.
Well, since we're all people of academia over here about the Pokemon, I actually wanted to follow up on one of the questions that we had before about eating Gengars. Since we have Gigantamax, we have Mega Gengar. We have would the friendship make it taste different? Would the G-Max soup make it taste different?
Great question. Next question.
I didn't hear any of that, but I assume it was a great question.
You're wrong. Next question.
Yeah, so I went to the craft store in.
Did you love it?
Yes, I did. Yeah,
that's so
Saffron
good to
City,
hear.
great. But so I bought some things and some glitter. So here's the thing: is later that week I managed to catch a Gengar.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
everyone.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Welcome to Gengar ownership. It's a
lot of responsibility.
It's a lot of responsibility.
The issue is though, I'm not sure if he's shiny. I noticed some of my glitter was missing.
Mhm.
So when I throw him out of his Pokeball, he throws some glitter. There's some sparkles, but
right.
I mean, how do you tell the color? Is he playing a trick on me? Is he really shiny? Is there a way I can tell?
What a great question. Anthony, did you hear that question?
I didn't hear any of that question. What a great question.
It was so good. I'm just going to answer it, unless you have
You said it
a point of
throws
view.
glitter?
Yeah. So the question asker said when it comes out of its Pokeball, it launches glitter into the air. It's the owner is missing glitter from the craft store that they went to and bought. I'm sure, for their own projects, unrelated to the Gengar. And so the question was, is this Pokemon shiny, or has it gotten into my glitter?
Do you at your house? Is it carpeted? Carpeted house with
Great
glitter?
question. Great
Thank you,
question.
thank you.
Great
Put
question.
it down.
Yeah. What?
Glitter is the worst.
Professor Crumb. We don't.
Yeah, I anti-glitter.
Yeah, but we don't. We don't.
You put it down.
We don't.
They are demons.
No, but we don't.
Shadow people. They lurk.
We don't euthanize Pokemon anymore. It's not 1956.
It's a demon. Next question.
No, not next
No.
question.
No.
You could DNA sequence your Gengar. I know a great DNA sequencer. If you want to connect offline, you could hit Anthony up at PokeDexpert. Ask him why the Twitter isn't working. Why we haven't responded to anything.
Actually, no. Better question. If you could at me why the Twitter isn't working, that would help a lot for me to try to figure out why.
Yeah. Step one, figure out why our Twitter hasn't had anything happen in a year. Step two, get at us with the glitter thing, because we can follow up with a 23andMe type of situation, but specifically for Pokemon. Because when you run Pokemon DNA through a human sequencer, you
Mike,
learn things.
I have an alternate theory about this.
Please.
I think this Gengar might have learned a new attack.
What?
I think it's when they are bringing out this Gengar, I think it's thirst for battle, and its battle move is Glitter Bomb. I think that's what's happening.
Is that an attack, or is that a D&D spell?
No, I think it's an aggressive maneuver from this. I think this Gengar is showing signs of aggression with glitter.
Put it down.
On it, okay. If it's showing signs of aggression, the professor might have a point. Next question.
I don't think that's still the right answer, but
you said it.
Yeah, you did
And
say
we
that.
moved on.
This is your fault.
We moved on.
Okay.
This one's on you, Anthony. This one's on you.
You were doing so well, Anthony.
Next question.
All right. I want to preface this by saying I'm not in the interest of body shaming Pokemon, but
Yeah, I feel like a
There's
butt.
a heavy butt.
There was a butt.
I've learned.
Haunter weighs next to nothing. When it evolves, it gains about 80 pounds. Where does that come from?
Okay, this is actually a great question. I have historically been taught when a thing starts with a phrase and then you hit the butt, you can typically ignore the first part of the phrase. And in this case, valid.
When you quit smoking, you gain extra weight. And when it goes from gaseous form into regular form, you got
That
a
is
few
true.
extra pounds.
The Pokemon's
I
metabolism
mean, it's
changes.
better for you. You are healthier.
Yes, certainly much more corporeal post transformation, and just in general, as we age, all of us, we tend to increase in mass, and so it's a natural process. Great question. We've got
Wurmple reproduce asexually, in case anyone was wondering. I just feel like this is the one piece of information I can bring in to that. So,
thank you. Next question.
So what is the best way to catch legendary Pokemon for totally not malicious intent?
That's it.
I
don't.
I think we need to call someone.
Yeah, I don't like the way.
No. We need to.
I didn't like
Great
the way that
question.
it started really good, and then ended really bad.
It's twice.
Yeah.
Twice.
Great.
No.
Half a great question. Right.
A good compromise.
And I have half a suggestion to as the audience has said, suggested. Maybe someone could call Officer Jenny. Just a wellness check on the little girl in the scary
The
makeup.
scary face.
Yeah.
Her eyes were terrible.
Yeah.
Like Gengar.
Truly, yeah. And if not, Professor Jenny, an exorcist.
Yep.
Then next question.
So Gengar are known for their big smiles.
Of course.
How do they get their teeth looking so nice?
Great question. It's a really good
Great
question. Professor Crumb, how do you get your teeth so nice?
Oh, these are fake. I bought these.
Do you think? Look, you can see here on the screen. We are looking at Gengar's teeth. They do look like veneers.
The flippers.
And so I don't know if this Gengar has had work done specifically. This photo is great, but Anthony, so this photo of this Gengar. Do you know this Gengar that you're showing us?
This is my uncle's Gengar. He had drawn by an artist in the area who he really admired this Gengar. And so not only did he have a portrait made of the Gengar, he also left it all of his inheritance.
Wow. Anthony, and your uncle's Gengar, did it have dental work done?
No, this Gengar, he always prided himself on saying that his Gengar his teeth were all natural. What he did was he gave him bones to chew on. Now, Gengar, as you know, incorporeal. However, their teeth, they have the ability to make them solid. And so he was just always crunching on bones. I don't know where the bones came from, but there were always bones in the house. And always just munching away was this Gengar, which was certainly not traumatizing as a child.
No, it sounds perfectly natural, and I'm really glad to hear that you had that experience with the Gengar.
Yeah, so good.
All the calcium from the bones.
Sure.
Yeah, I can see it would be good for.
And just scraping the plaque off, right? From the chewing motion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your uncle was very smart.
Yeah. Great question and great answer, Anthony.
That Gengar blew all of his money. All of it.
Poor investments, or
mostly betting.
Gambling.
Yeah, big gambler.
Interesting. No, was it the ponies, or was it
ponies
like
or
table
dogs.
games?
He did a lot of betting on the Ponytas, yeah. But mostly it was all just roulette. Just put it on black and let it go. And you'd think, hey, you're a
50-50.
Gengar, you can manipulate that. No, he just lost a lot.
They should have had a Meowth with him.
Yeah,
Good
that
luck.
would have helped.
That would have helped.
Yeah, it would have helped.
Yep. Yeah. Bad choices.
So I'm so sorry to make you wait. Next question.
All right. So my cousin is really into ghost Pokemon. One of their favorites being Fantron. Not sure why. They just absolutely adore him. Well, we went to a Pokemon battle the other day, and one of her favorite Pokemon trainers had a Gengar that they Dynamaxed.
Okay.
And she's having a birthday really, really soon.
The Pokemon? Happy birthday.
No.
What's its name?
The cousin is having the birthday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. But I have a Gengar myself, and I just so happen to get my hands on a Dynamax stone. And I was wondering if it would be okay to use Dynamax Gengar as a bouncy house.
That's a great question. I especially love the detail in the question that really put me in the place of understanding it. Anthony, you heard all that, right?
I didn't, but I'm sure it was a great question.
Okay. The question was, I have a cousin who has a birthday. It's unimportant. And the cousin also likes a different Pokemon, and they have a Gigantamax Gengar. And can I use a Gigantamax stone on my Gengar to bounce inside of it?
On side or on top?
Great question.
Thank you.
Great question. Great question.
Clarification. Inside.
Terrifying. Why would anyone want to do that?
I mean,
I want to go inside a spooky haunted house and jump around. Jump up, and then get down.
And off the Gengar afterward, of course. I mean, you wouldn't want to stay on top of that.
This is the last time I'm doing your show. It is. You have a terrifying crowd.
Professor Crumb, I'm sorry. I have to ask. Is there something like, typically you are it seems you never get rattled by things like this.
You lived
you
4
breadth of
months
experience.
in the woods.
I've fallen on hard times. I lied before. This is my only outfit. I believe I've been cursed many times. Even today.
You can get one of these for $8. This suit is $8. You can get it, I'll hook you up. I'll let you know.
I appreciate that, Anthony. Everywhere I look, Gengars.
Professor Crumb, if you need a hand, you could have messaged.
I have two, but thank you.
You could have messaged PokeDexpert. I don't know that we would have gotten it.
I don't.
You could have sent a message to it. Did you send a message?
Yeah. First, Professor Crumb, send a message on how to fix our Twitter, and then send a message asking for help. We'd be happy to help.
Yeah. Did you?
I had to sell my phone.
Okay. Just making sure because our Twitter isn't working right now. So if you figure out how to fix it, and then reach out for help, we can help you after we have a way for.
So I get to do work for you. And then you pay me in therapy.
The way you phrased it was perfect. Get to. I loved that.
Talk after.
And so the answer to the Gigantamax question is yes, you could. You could absolutely bounce inside of your Gengar. What happens once you get inside the Gengar is entirely dependent on your relationship with your Gengar. And so if you're having trouble, like one of our former
40 years of nightmares
question askers was with showing affection to your Gengar, it may be riskier than if you have a good relationship with that Gengar.
Unspeakable horrors.
Right. Is a side effect for sure of being inside a Gengar too long. So just make sure, 3-4 minutes tops. You hit 4:05 and it starts to get dicey.
Hallucinations.
Yeah.
That lasts for weeks.
And then flashback. Next question.
We all know that when we train
So
our
true.
Gengars not to lick things, we lick them back.
Of course. Okay, so I've heard of this theory.
And the shiny ones tend to taste like blueberry because Gengar are evil.
The
obviously.
sponsor?
The sponsor.
Yes.
Maybe Anthony, maybe you can just go to the grocery store.
Yeah, I guess you could.
I thought it was an on the internet thing. Blueberry might be a food. Sorry, continue.
We also know the normal ones, for some reason, taste like that god awful purple flavor. The thing that like those
Fake grape.
It's the fake grape. The
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
that
yeah.
you never want to find in a gumball machine.
Sure.
How do we get it to taste like normal grape?
Grape question.
Great question.
Great
Question. Great question.
Anthony, it was a grape question.
Great question.
Oh, a grape question. I'm
There you
sure it
go.
was great.
There you go.
A
Great
great,
question.
what a great question.
Did he say, as everyone knows, what they?
That's what he led with. Yes. He did lead with, as everyone knows.
Well, I mean, obviously, then I feel like we don't even need to talk about it if everyone already knows.
Yeah, if everyone.
Well, the first part of the question, but the second part of the question: how do we make it taste like real grape?
Right. Well,
food science.
nobody knows.
There's a lot of extracts, and if your Gengar enjoys bathing in different scents and different extracts, you could always introduce those into its routine. And so I think one of the things that we keep in mind is that a Gengar is going to taste how a Gengar has decided that it wants to taste. And it's up to us to accept that as its flavor.
But also the living experience and around it takes on whatever.
Regional, yeah, there are regional differences in flavor profiles of Gengar. Wait, did we get? Are you talking? Next question.
Boil them.
I knew what you were getting at.
So my Gengar has gotten a bit lonely, and he's looking for a romantic partner. Do you have any dating advice for my Gengar to find a significant other?
Great question. So Anthony, the question was, he has a frustrated Gengar who is looking for love.
That's
what is your advice?
I find that, if ever you're trying to attract Gengar to an area, right, so that your Gengar can meet other Gengar, I think it's important to leave around some of Gengar's favorite things to try and bring them out, like a child holding a balloon in the rain. Or
that one does bring out Mimikyu sometimes, so be careful.
And Drifloon. You got to be careful. Yeah.
Drifloon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you alter the wiring in your house so that all of the lights flicker and blink all the time, you're going to get a Gengar to show up.
Foolproof way. I was going to recommend more of a modern solution. We're in the 21st century now. It's 2022. Make sure that your Gengar is on catcher. Honestly, like a lot of my trainer friends have had a great experience on catcher. If the profile is right for your Gengar, you're going to meet a lot of very interesting Pokemon.
Yeah. And it all depends on the pictures as well.
Yes, of course.
Your Gengar holding a gold deed. It's popular.
Yeah, so it's popular for one half of the
maybe
population.
Have dog pictures.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say pet picture. If your Gengar hangs out with a lot of other Gengar all the time, maybe don't use all of those because, how is potential mate going to know which Gengar it's going to meet up with? It can be confusing, right? And so also, please make sure that your Gengar is using recent photos of itself.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be Magikarp, right? It's 2022.
Yeah. You don't want to use someone else's Gengar either, right? You don't want to find pictures of other Gengars on the internet, or everyone's going to feel really cheated when you get your Gengars together.
All right, Anthony. It looks like we have 2 minutes left here. We are going to do the last question, and we're going to do it just super quick, and then we will get out of here and. Thank you all so much. And make sure, please, if you enjoyed this panel, tell DragonCon that you loved it. Tell your friends that you loved it. Introduce Anthony to the internet. Give the panel 5 stars in the app, please. And also, again, if you have hands, give it to a charity. We would really appreciate it.
Yeah, only if you have hands. If not, that's fine. We get it.
If not, give it to another charity. But the DragonCon specific charity, very strange that it's only for people with open hands. Last question.
Chet Daniels here with the Meridian City Gazette.
Oh, Chet. How have you been?
Go Totodiles.
Go Totodiles.
We've been getting some reports in at the station of war crimes, Gengar related, being performed all around Kanto.
I told you. I told you.
Yeah, so this is the problem with the mainstream media nowadays. They're always targeting Gengar, and they're never asking, what did we do to deserve this? And I'm not saying the Gengar did it.
We had the chance to report her, and we didn't.
Right. I'm not saying the Gengar did it. I'm just saying that, maybe they didn't, and maybe they did. And if they did...
Open your hands. There's blood.
Right. What did we do? I think it's really important that we think about our actions as people in a world that really we should be sharing better with Pokemon.
We helped an assassination of an entire region.
Great question.
Great question.
Thank you all so much. Thank you for being here. And have a great DragonCon.
Thank you, everybody.
Professor Crumb, where can people find you?
You can find me at tiny.cc/Cruminadeeasy.
And that is with a B, right?
Cruminadeeasy, yes.
CRUMBIN ain't easy.
Ain't easy.
No apostrophes
No
because URLs don't support that.
Correct.
Thank
all
you
the
all so
money.
much.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Yeah, all the money to Dragonite Con's charity. Also, if you give Professor Crumb any money at Bitly, at tiny.cc/Crumb and Ain't Easy, I promise it will go to close. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Professor Crumb. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Anthony, that could have gone better.
It could have. You know, I think maybe if we'd done this ever, you know,
I can't hear
for
you.
public consumption.
The crowd is talking.
You have dead eyes, Anthony.
Yeah, you really need to be a little bit more emotive next time.
You don't look like a. You're in a good place.
If we get a next time, I'm going to turn you to meet the audience.
Oh,
thank you all so much for coming. Thank you. Great question. Hello. Hi, I'm Mike. Nice to meet you. Yes. Oh, yes, at Austin FC. Yes. How are you? Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, damn.
I am officially a member of Los Verdes as of today.
Hey, congratulations.
Preston bought it as a